Yes, people, how we doing? Great to see you all. Welcome back to another stream, another day. Yeah, let's get cracking. So, how are we all doing? Make sure you get your likes in, of course. First thing to do, get your likes in. Let's get it going. And of course, please do make sure you go and drop this link with a friend. Go and drop it in a random Telegram group. Go and do whatever you want with it. Let's try and get some more people in. But we have got Anuj. Thank you for joining. You was first. Jeff, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. Firewatch, good afternoon to you. Save is in Spain, in Espanol. Great to see you, mate. I think it might be hotter or maybe equal on par, mate, back in England now as it is in Spain. It is absolutely stifling, let me tell you. It was glorious over the weekend. John, how we doing? Jeff, yeah, it was good, mate. It was good. Nice and hot. Good morning. Yeah, and Anuj. Thank you for joining. Dressed to impress princess. Okay, thank you. Let's go. Great to see you. I don't think I've ever seen you in the chat before. If you are new, please do make sure you drop a big like on the stream. Right, So where are we with obviously the streaming account? So we did get up to $400 of margin last week. I'll show you that. And then we went back down all the way to 330 because I got stopped out. So as you can see, we ended up closing the Bitcoin long, which actually was probably the wrong decision. If we'd have just left it and we hadn't have took 25% off the table, we probably would have been up to around $400 to $500 on this long now, which, you know, come see, come sat in it. We took profits off the table and moved on, but then also, you know, you look at the entry that we had on a 40x, we closed it out there. Obviously, we've come all the way up here, so that would have been, yeah, that probably would have been around, maybe even more. Maybe it would have been around $600 actually if I'd have, you know, had to take profit all the way there. But who cares? We move on. YGG, I also closed that, and then Fartcoin, I closed that for a tidy profit as well because I wanted to short ETH. Now I was very premature on shorting ETH. I went in on Saturday at 4155, which was obviously the wrong choice. So we took a 70 USDT loss on that. And then this Bitcoin one was just from this morning when I was trying to find a good entry. So we obviously came back down, but I've worked some of that back. I've worked 31 USDT back so far from obviously this Bitcoin short. So we're back up to 360. So all in all, we've had a fantastic week. If we go obviously back to last Monday, we are, you know, what would we be? We're over $200 up. So that's all good. We're making our way back. If this does come down to where I'm expecting or hoping it to, then we'll make back that ETH loss plus around about $60 to $70. So that'll be great. So yeah, that's what we're up to with the stream account. Just to update everyone, obviously, as you can see, we're currently short on Bitcoin from up here as it continues to bleed down. Now, I am short on Ethereum as well. If I can just check on my phone where I'm up to with that. Let me see. So let me tell you exactly where I am. So currently on Ethereum, I'm in from 4,275, and that is currently plus 6.3% P&L. Now I'm only on 3x short with that. This is on a separate BLOFIN account. This is on my personal account. Because I'm only on 3x, because I'm using obviously a much higher margin than we're using here. We're only using $327 of margin in this. So that is currently yielding plus 6%, which is great. And of course, Ethereum has had a great pump up, but it's really coming down hard now, as is Bitcoin. So we'll obviously take a further look in depth at both of their moves. Bruce, how are we doing, mate? Great to see you. Hello, Delanium. Yes, great to see you again, mate. You know, it's great to see you coming into the chat every day. 38, is it? Do you know what? Say that's well hotter than it is here. That's well hotter. But I remember I used to go to Spain every year when I was younger. Used to go every single year, and I don't remember it ever getting that hot. I think maybe at the most it used to get to maybe like late 20s. That is like approaching. When I went to Vegas a few years ago, I think that was obviously in the 40s, maybe towards 50, but it's not far away. I mean, that is absolutely stifling, isn't it? 38 degrees, 25 degrees where I am, says FMFC. Yeah, it's water in the UK, but I mean, I didn't expect it to be that hot. That is like approaching like seriously hot. Obviously, for Spain, it's hot, but you don't normally associate it with being like that level to hot, you know. Like I said, that is approaching like Vegas levels and stuff, I think, from what I remember. Yeah, I'll be traveling in a few days, might be away from my PC. We can always jump in on your phone if you want, mate. Obviously up to you, but it's great to see you whenever you jump in. So yeah, that's what obviously we're up to on the stream account. Let's go and take a look obviously at them both. Now, something that I've just popped into the Stonksy Discord server is, let me just get rid of this. This is from last night, is about ETH. So now, it doesn't look exactly the same. I'm not sure exactly. I don't really use candlestick patterns that much myself. But years and years ago, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I did do a lot of learning into them. So I did a lot of learning into candlestick patterns, obviously the singular candles. Obviously, when you have a few candles come in to make a candlestick pattern. And straight away when I saw this, when I went onto the daily chart about half an hour ago, I thought that looks like a pin bar. Now, obviously, this is how a pin bar is drawn on here. On this one, I'm guessing there's not really too much discrepancy on how this candle needs to be formed. I'm guessing it's just some sort of spinning top. So to me, that looks obviously not exactly the same, but it does look kind of similar. Where we've got, obviously just a spinning top up here after a big bullish move. And obviously we're currently getting a reversal. So is this a pin bar in the making? Obviously we'll only know. It doesn't, at the same time, it doesn't really matter too much because as you can see, low time frame, we have this area here, don't we? So we've got this kind of area here, low time frame, down around, 4,165-ish, 63, wherever you want to draw it, in and around that area, where obviously low time frame, we've got demand coming in here, here, here. So currently we have this range on ETH, which has been building quite nicely of resistance, support. So all that matters really is obviously if you're looking for downside is we break below here and start to break down from there. I think obviously you can look at levels on the charts here. Obviously we've got this as a test of SR. We've obviously got this area here where you could look, but I think mainly if you go to the ETH CME chart, as you can see, we've got this huge Ethereum CME gap. So if you don't look at Ethereum CME, obviously it's not really been too needy of late because, it's not really performed well, has it, for ages. But currently, while we're getting this strength, it has created this huge, massive CME gap from Friday, which goes down to around 4,081. But as you can see, there is a bit of a premium. There's not really, actually, no, to be fair, on ETH, there's not. On Bitcoin, there is. There's a premium on Bitcoin, but actually when it comes to ETH, there's not, maybe like $10, $20. But yeah, that brings us down to 4,081. So could this be a magnet for ETH on this chart? If we chart that out, 4,081. Let's just do there because, say we do have a $20 premium or something. So we could get a drop down to there in theory to close this ETH CME gap. We do also have a CME gap on Bitcoin, which is much, much lower. We're coming down to 117,410. But as you can see, there is a premium of a good. Obviously, the CME data is 10%, 10 minutes delayed, but it looks to be around $600-700. So this could take us pretty, to be conservative, to around 117k on Bitcoin, which would obviously slam us all the way back down to basically support down here. That's where we'd be coming down to, back into support where we flipped it. So we'd basically retrace the whole weekend move to close that CME gap. That's where we're looking at. If Bitcoin is going to close the CME, we're coming back into here pretty much. Let's just chart 117k. There we go. So yeah, basically, which could turn out to be a great long. So that could obviously also drag ETH considerably more down. I think, in and around here looks like a potential good area for ETH. If we was to come into here, could that be a great long? Potentially. So we'll keep our eyes on it. We'll keep our eyes peeled. If you've got any thoughts as to what's going to happen next, do let me know. But at the time of, obviously us doing this, the main thing is, if you're looking for downside, ETH breaks this low time frame support here, which then really should, have it plummet. How far will probably be directed by Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin starts chugging down here, it doesn't really matter how strong ETH is. It's going to take it with it. So let me know what you guys think on that. 48 degrees here in Jeddah. Lol, hold my beer. Wow. That is stifling. I hear 38 degrees and I think, man, that's cold. Yeah. Celsius, Jeff. Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's definitely over 100 in it, I think. It's definitely over 100. What is it where you are, Jeff? In Fahrenheit or Celsius? Hala, how we doing? Great to see you. Great to see you, Hala. Yeah, I changed my take profit levels to straight trailing stop loss once prices hit. Yeah, I think, we could definitely see a variety of things today. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we could definitely see a variety of things. But we do have, yeah, like I said, them CME gaps on Bitcoin and ETH looking to obviously potentially drag the price down. Howdy, Steve-O. Great to see you. It's going to be 97 Fahrenheit here today. Well, let me just do a quick conversion for you. So, 38 degrees Celsius to... How do you spell Fahrenheit? It's a mad... I don't know how to spell it. I'm guessing that might not be too. So there you go, Jeff. There you go. So where Save is currently in Spain is basically bang on to what you're going to be today. So there you go, and that's what we would consider extremely hot. I mean, 38 degrees. I don't know the last time the UK would have got that. Obviously, Save is in Spain, but we're having some great weather currently in the UK. And let me tell you, it's a different type of heat when you come here and it's hot. You know, even in the 20s, it is hot. Let me tell you, it is stifling. Done. Okay, so that's how you spell it. Let me just drop a link as well. Of course, if you're looking to trade anywhere today, do make sure you click the links in the description, or obviously I've just pinned the BLOFIN one in the chat as well. Sign up to BLOFIN, where I'm currently trading on, but we are also partnered with Bitunics, so you do get, you know, obviously some great welcome bonuses, great deposit bonuses with both of them when you use our link, and of course you support the stream. But yeah, we are plummeting on Bitcoin now, which is really taking a bit of a downturn, isn't it? ETH, as you can see as well, coming in and around this low time frame support. So will Bitcoin drive this? Bitcoin could drive this breakdown. You know, obviously, with us looking at this now, it looks like obviously ETH bulls are trying to hold this level, because obviously it's quite key, isn't it? But should Bitcoin obviously keep plummeting, it could put too much pressure on, as to the point where ETH just completely shits the bed. Who knows? We will see. I remain short, and I don't think I'm going to change my stance on that just yet. What do we expect ETH to go to this run? We could have a look at that, Marius. Everyone let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Hey, Debut, how we doing? Yeah, winter is my jam. Yeah, to be honest, I love both. I love the heat. I love it being hot. I love just being able to walk around in shorts, t-shirts, and sliders. I also like the nice, cozy winter nights. I don't know what it's like for you, Jeff, over there, but it does. Yeah, it gets pretty cold, obviously, for the UK standard. Anyway, so I mean, what do you expect from ETH this run? It's a really tricky question, isn't it? It's a really tricky question as to what to expect for this run, because let's just go mark some stuff out. Because I suppose it depends on how realistic you're being, how much of a bull you are, at what point of the cycle do you think we're in, how high do you think Bitcoin goes? I mean, obviously that is probably a key factor as well, isn't it? How high does Bitcoin go? Because how much profit is there to be rotated into ETH? As we know, a lot of profits have been people will say it's mostly institutions, which is probably true. You know, institutions are probably buying it up, but rotation from Bitcoin into ETH definitely started this move, because the other day when we was pumping, I think it was Friday, the total chart just wasn't moving at all, and obviously ETH was pumping, which obviously suggests that it's not new money coming in, it is rotational money. As you can see, total is now catching up. So yeah, total is now catching up. We're nearly at 4 trillion. So we are heading to new highs, I believe, on total, aren't we? Yeah, we're heading to new highs on total. Again, I mean, does it really matter to pay too much attention to that? Yeah, let's go back to the original question anyway. How high do you think ETH could go? Well, we've got another... Let's see. So we've got another 16% to go till all-time high. Then, if you want to take, you know, some sort of fib retracement, you could obviously go from the last cycle high to obviously the bear market low, which would bring us in and around 7,331. If you take it from that high to that low, obviously it depends on what you want to do. Are you going from there to there? You know, for that last cycle, you know, potentially you could go from here, couldn't you? You could go from that high to that low there, which, you know, gives us an extension of 5,800. You know, if you wanted to do an extension from there, it all depends on obviously what you've taken for the measurements. But, you know, you've got these, which, you know, you look on a chart, there's an easy level. Obviously, we've got all-time high, standard. There's one level which we plucked from retracement from obviously that high to that move to the low, and then obviously back up. So here to here, retracement from that, and then obviously the bigger retracement, which is from a couple of years ago, from the cycle high to the cycle low, which is up here. Now, I think you can kind of get caught up in kind of frenzy and euphoria and just stupid headlines of people just plucking numbers out of the air. So ETH to 10k, what relevance does that really have? Well, the relevance that has is basically just it's a big juicy round number like Bitcoin to 100k. There is no actual relevance that I don't think on the chart anyway that draws you towards 10k, apart from the fact it is 5 figures and it is basically ETH's equivalent of Bitcoin to 100k. That is literally it. It's got really no value in terms of that. And the likelihood is it probably wouldn't get there, would it? It would probably come up and just get front run and obviously fall off from there. But I think, these are logical levels that you could use. Like I say, I don't think it would get to 10k. I think it would get to 9,000 something. And then obviously get front run for selling. But, you could use this level. Or do you think it even gets there? Does it even get there? I think if it starts dipping back below, 4,100, which you can see is this green line that Stonksy's got drew out, then we're back below resistance, aren't we? We're back below resistance, and all this is a deviation. Afternoon, Loki. How we doing? Great Alpha, new here, been following on X for a while. Well, yeah, please do subscribe. If anyone else is new here, please do subscribe. Of course, you can grab Stonksy as well. So for those of you, obviously, that have been following for a while and not yet, obviously, you can sign up to Stonksy. Links in the description. You can still get 20% off your first month. So obviously, this is this option. 20% off that with code BOT20. So that will take 20% off your first month. You get access to everything. We do also have, obviously, the cheaper plan, which is the oscillator only. So the oscillator is this, and Discord's access, that's just that. But we was running, obviously, 50% off for the birthday promo last week. That's now expired. But we have kept 35% off for lifetime and annual. So there is plenty of deals there if you want to come and join. Like I said, 50% ended last week, but lifetime and annual are discounted at 35% currently. So obviously, that's for that and that. And it's also applied at checkout. The monthly one, you do have to use BOT20 at checkout to get 20% off that. So yeah, obviously do come and join. You get full indicator access, oscillator. Obviously, you get in the Discord server where we're chatting away and stuff like that, and bot access. But yeah, I think obviously there's a couple of different scenarios here. If we start, if we deviate here and drop back below, we are then obviously back below high time frame resistance, especially if we, if we close a daily candle below there. Depending on obviously how deep it goes, then it could signal it could signal a reversal. I think there's two things at this point. I think mainly to do with Ethereum, not Bitcoin. There's being optimistic. There's being obviously kind of too overly bullish to the point where you may miss good take profit levels, and two, kind of being like the guy who's just sticking out from the crowd, because I think if you're kind of bearish here, or at least not bearish, but conservative, cautious, then it's kind of not a bad idea. I've seen things of bloody flipping in, people saying the flipping in's going to happen over the weekend. I haven't seen that for a good few years. All sorts of nonsense, really, which obviously comes out when people are hyper emotional, hyper euphoric, and obviously getting caught up in the price action. Now, something that who was it who asked me in the chat last night? I can't remember who asked me in the chat last night about obviously what they said that they had an average entry of 2,500 and asked me what they should do. Obviously, I can't give financial advice, but what I said was, where do you think ETH is going? The guy said 5 to 6k. So what I said was, well, if that's the case, obviously, if you think there's 5 to 6k, you could obviously take a portion off the table now. You could take your initial off the table. You could take 10, 20, 25%, whatever. But some good practice is to outline, where do you believe the price is going to go? Is that 5k? Is it 6k, 7k? Wherever, it doesn't really matter. But what I said to him was, he said 5 to 6k. So I said, okay, well, just take your spot and put it in sell limit orders. So then you can't get caught up in euphoria, and you can't get trapped in obviously having to sell it manually while the market is exploding. So I said, obviously one practice you could do is take your spot ETH and put it into sell orders for, say 3 levels. You put a third here, third here, third here. And then automatically then, that the market would, depending on however you're using it, if you're using BLOFIN, whatever, would sell that for you as soon as it triggers. So then you don't get caught up in this euphoria stage and, kind of being blinded by higher, bigger numbers in green and stuff like that. So there's plenty of practice that you could take. But yeah, I think the thing is, I could pluck any number out of thin air here, don't I? I could pluck any number out of thin air from here. And really, until we break all-time high, it doesn't really matter, because we need to see the reaction from all-time high. Now, if you actually go back, people will be drawing conclusions of this. So people will say, well, Bitcoin broke its all-time high and went, 40%, whatever. But they forget about this. Bitcoin broke its all-time high here. Bitcoin broke its all-time high here and then continued to drop 33% from there before actually going on its expansive run. Not to say we're going to get that from Ethereum as well. And not to say it comes back from all-time high, but, could we get a pullback from here? 20, 30%? 20% takes us back down to the start of that weekly candle. I wouldn't say it's not impossible, is it? Anything can happen in the market. Alternatively, we could go up, and then, the one thing we want to watch, I don't know exactly, where's my all-time high one gone? Oh, it's because I moved it, weren't it? We want to see the reaction at all-time high. Does it completely break it and then rip? Does it tip over and then start breaking down? Whatever. I don't know. Currently, I'm short on the market. Right, what have we got here? Looks like a tasty double top on the 1 hour. I did see that. Hallett is short on NQ. Smash the likes. Yeah, please do make sure you drop a big like on the stream. Make sure, of course, you subscribe. Make sure you click the links in the description. Are we going down? I don't know. I mean, we don't know, do we, Shoots? We don't know if we're going down for sure. Currently, we are going down, yes. Obviously, Bitcoin has bled down for the last couple of hours. Ethereum the same. But it's pretty simple. I mean, we need to, if we break below local support here, then we are going to go down towards probably to fill the Ethereum CME gap, which would take us a bit further down as to where I've got drawn on the chart there. So we'll just take it as it comes. Bitcoin to 140, ETH to 8K. So there you go. Yeah, there you go. That is Marios' view. I believe in zero, says Haller. People in the USA not talking about crypto yet. I don't know, to be honest. Imagine holding ETH for 4 years to finally be in 1% profit. Discipline. How are we doing, Discipline? Great to see you. I mean, the thing is, that is actually kind of the wild thing, isn't it? Is the wild thing is, if you look at it, say you bought ETH down here, wherever, it doesn't really matter. The crazy thing is along this time, this is the 4th chance that people have had to sell 4K or just above. So obviously we had the run up here, sold, then pulled back 30%, then a push up again. Now, obviously, you're not going to time all these moves. You might not buy that back down here, but then obviously over time, we pulled back more. Then again, obviously in December, that was, that ended up being a huge pullback. I don't know how many people would have nailed the bottom on that. Maybe some people would have gone back in here. Obviously, this on the weekly looked pretty good until it just got ran through. But well, yeah, what's crazy is obviously this is the 4th time. Whether you count this or not, maybe you don't count this because this was pretty quick, weren't it? I count it because, yeah, I mean, it's still another stab at this resistance area, isn't it? After falling 30%. But this is the 4th time, that people have had to, obviously sell resistance or whatever. Now, it is above resistance currently. But like I said, we could find ourselves dropping back pretty quickly, which would just be a classic deviation, sweep of high time frame liquidity, and then are we going back down towards some lower levels? I don't know. What I do know is that Bitcoin is plummeting. Bitcoin is plummeting. So we are very close to being back to recouping our ETH loss on the stream account, which will get us back to, as soon as we hit $400 of margin again, we have earned back this ETH loss here from the weekend when I was too giddy to short ETH. So yeah, we'll be back to $400, which is good, good start. What's ETH at? 418. So if we look at ETH, you can see, look at the reluctance to break down, even though Bitcoin is breaking down and obviously heading lower. ETH has a reluctance to break below this level, so it's clear that people are trying to hold this level on ETH. People are trying to hold this level on ETH because obviously low time frame, it has some really good relevance. As soon as that goes, then we should obviously, in theory, start cascading pretty quickly. So yeah, I don't know whether it's going to break or not. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, nice analysis. Oh, thank you. You know what to do. To hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and of course, if you want some more of me, you can join Stonksy. Obviously, get full indicator access, oscillator, Discord, bot access. But of course, you can jump in the Discord and chat to me whenever you want. I think market will consolidate again. Yeah, it's not a bad shout, to be fair. I mean, really, the key thing is what happens with Bitcoin here. So let's get a fresh Bitcoin chart because we'll go over what we was discussing last week. Let me get a fresh Bitcoin chart and let me just turn off Stonksy so we can see everything pretty clearly because I want to go over this. So this is a pretty key point for Bitcoin here. One of two reasons. Obviously, we've got this kind of SR region here, haven't we? Wherever you want to draw it, I don't know. It's completely up to yourselves. In and around 120k looks fine, which we're currently testing, obviously, for support. If it holds, then it could obviously provide, pushback upwards. But mainly what I want to look at is the lower highs that we formed on this way down. Now, obviously, we were talking about this when we got long down here. This was something I was looking at, and obviously, it would have been great if I would have left the Bitcoin long open to come and clear it out. But what we were talking about is obviously at some point, Bitcoin was going to run all these highs because you just got lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, which is basically just a build up of stops and liquidity above each one, isn't it? Obviously, each time you just get this build up. So when you do start to run through it, like we got here, it started to run through. It took this one out at first on this candle, then this one. And then obviously this just ran through. People obviously forced to buy back into the market with the sell orders closing, and just causes a mega squeeze like this. So we ran through all these lower highs now on this big mighty 4-hour candle, which now begs the question, are we going to hold 120k on this SR test? If we get back below, then we could cascade back to the downside. So yeah, definitely worth noting that. But as you can see, Stonksy is long from $14,000. I did use this to actually get into that trade that we had open last week, which, that's wounding that. It probably would be about $600 in profit, wouldn't it? Closer to the top here. But this trade that we got in at 113,650, I used the Stonksy channels to get into it. So the channels are these, obviously these bands you see above and below the price, alongside obviously being in and around the price. We used the channels to get in this trade, and then obviously as soon as this confirmation came in of green, that gave me some real good confidence, which led to that gain. So yeah, definitely make sure that you grab Stonksy. But look at ETH. Look at the as Bitcoin's breaking down. Look at Bitcoin breaking down. Look at ETH. The reluctance to break down. Someone is really trying to hold this up and stop it from breaking down. Are you playing with leverage yet? So on the stream account, let me get it up. So this is the stream account. I'm currently 10x short, but obviously it's not a great amount of margin. It's only $300 odd. On my personal account, I'm only 3x short on Ethereum, but obviously using much higher margin than this. So it just depends really on the margin. on the stream account, we started off with low margin, but of recent, I've been upping the margin a bit because we've been catching some really nice moves in the market. So, you can afford to, as you can see here, where I entered this, I could afford to have a really tight stop loss on this because, if we started to push up to 123, we was probably going to sweep the all-time high and maybe push much higher. So the risk reward on here to have a tight stop loss with 10x was pretty good. So that's why I went in there. On my personal one, because ETH has obviously been so strong recently. So it's obviously harder to short it. And two, obviously, like I said, I'm playing with higher margin on my personal account. So I tend to obviously use lower leverage to be more safe. But I mean, yeah, really, really nice trade so far. Where is ETH? Yeah, look at the reluctance to break down. Let's have a look at ETH Bitcoin. Yeah, so ETH Bitcoin's trying to level off as well. This should go in theory. It should, if Bitcoin carries on breaking down, unless someone is just like completely just got a big. I imagine there's probably a big bid wall here. Unless who's distributing just isn't done distributing. We've got 36 viewers. Right, make sure you all drop a like on the stream. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure, obviously, you click the links in the description to sign up. Sign up to BLOFIN. Sign up to BitUnix. Obviously, currently trading on BLOFIN, but we are also partnered with BitUnix. You get yourself some great welcome bonuses and deposit bonuses, both for KYC. Both for non-KYC. That's very wrong choice of words there. BLOFIN is completely KYC. You do not have to KYC no matter what. BitUnix is a little more complex than that. It's non-KYC. When you create an account, you can deposit under non-KYC. You can trade spot, whatever it is under non-KYC. If you want to know more about that, come and look at this video here, Trade on BitUnix, this sign-up tutorial, if you want to know more about that, BitUnix specifically. But yeah, I mean, this has been a great trade so far. Obviously, yeah, making back that Ethereum loss. We're not too far away now. And we'll just see if ETH goes from here. Dave, what's your OnlyFans link? I don't think I would make much come from that, mate. If you are watching, don't have Stonksy, I don't know what you're doing. There you go. That comes from Jeff. Jeff is really big Stonksy supporter, absolute legend. Good job on those trades. Yeah, let's see what my BLOFIN, so my Ethereum one now is plus 7% P&L, so that's only on a 3x short, remember. Yeah, which is pretty nicely up. I'm happy with that. But I am going to leave it open because we've got a nice entry. 4,275. You got a run. Yeah, got to yell something. Yeah, no worries, mate. Well, thanks for joining. Great to see you, Jeff. See you later, mate. I promise I'll open my second BLOFIN account once I settle. Yeah, delaying him. That'll be good. The oscillator on the hour looks to have nailed the local top. Let's actually, rewind this oscillator. Yeah, there you go. As it starts to come down, you see on the oscillator momentum starting to fall, even though we got this bounce just to create. I mean, this is kind of, you want to call it what you want. It's either a double top, liquidation, trap, whatever. But as you can see, we've completely rewound that. Now, Ethereum, again, it's kind of, look at ETH. Let's have a look at ETH Bitcoin. So as you can see, ETH Bitcoin's pushing back up. This is really, someone is really trying to hold ETH up at this point because obviously, typically, ETH would just be absolutely shit in the bed. Given how strong it's been, it's obviously not doing that. But yeah, someone is really trying to hold this low time frame support here. But I no doubt with Bitcoin's movement, this is applying real pressure on that. Like I say, I mean, I think if we sink below there, then that should open the door back towards 4,000 to 4,050. It back in this area, I think. It should open the door to that. Whether we'll get that or not, obviously we don't know. It needs to break down first. If you've got any altcoins you want me to look at, get them in the chat. 1% is still good money, mate. I don't think the support will hold. No. Someone's definitely, someone or something, or, you know, obviously a group of people are trying to hold this up. Now, whether that is to keep Ethereum up Whether it's to keep it up while they distribute, we don't know. But I mean, yeah, Bitcoin is just completely sinking through, isn't it? Let's have a look at the Bitcoin CME gap. It's approaching it. We haven't reached it yet. We are getting there, though. We should be getting there within the next 10 minutes when this data comes through. We should obviously be much closer towards starting to get towards the opening of it, at least. Yeah, it can be hard. This is the reason why it can be hard to trade these things when they're strong. So not just ETH, but when you've got an altcoin that is just strong no matter what. Often, you know, when you think that, you know, when they should theoretically break down, they just don't. And that's what ETH's doing at the moment. You know, this should, obviously, with Bitcoin plummeting, this should be breaking down with Bitcoin. But because it's strong and obviously it's being held up, it's not breaking down. Delanium says, I think ETH is going to drop to 3,850. I would love that. I would love that for my short. I would love it. I'd print some decent money with that. So I hope you're right, Delanium. I hope you're right. I would love to swing it back up from there. I mean, yeah, look at Bitcoin. Just completely sinking, and ETH. Now, whether this is delayed or not, and we just get a big, dirty, horrible candle down on ETH to catch up, we'll have to wait and see. But Zora on base is one to watch. Wiz was telling me about that today and yesterday. Scottish, you're short in Vine. Let me know if you want me to look at anything specific. I'll have a look at Zora. I'm just going to go to the toilet. But yeah, I mean, fascinating day in the markets. If you want me to look at anything else, let me know. Pump. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, Pump came down. We looked at it last night on stream, actually. And I was tempted last night. To long it, but I didn't. But Pump is having a great day, up 15%. But yeah, if you do want me to look at anything specific, let me know. But we are definitely heading towards, obviously, the start of the CME gap for Bitcoin. I'll be back in just a second. Just running to the toilet. In the meantime, make sure you've liked, subscribed, and of course, right, tell you what, it takes less than a minute to open a BLOFIN account. So you can find the BLOFIN link in the description, in the chat now. I'll put it in as well. I guarantee you'll be able to create a BLOFIN account before I get back from the toilet. It's that quick to create one. Non-KYC, you just need an email. So if you haven't jumped on it yet, do that. And of course, I'll drop the BitUnix one in as well if you want to create a BitUnix one at the same time. Or if you've already got BLOFIN, whatever, there's a BitUnix one as well. You can do the same thing very fast. Won't be a second. Right, I'm back. Thank you very much for your patience. Right. Sui and Ondo. Yeah, we'll have a look at them, mate. We'll have a look at them. Yeah, ETH still hasn't had any movement on that front yet. We're all good. We're eagerly close now to obviously making back that Ethereum lost money, which is great. Great. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see on the Bitcoin. See me. Yeah, so we're still not there, are we? We'll probably only see this unfold in the next 5-10 minutes. But there is a premium, so we might not have even really come close to start at. Actually, we probably won't have even come close to actually starting to close the gap yet. We're probably going to have Bitcoin drop below 119 to actually even get close to starting to close this gap. So, yeah, and ETH. I mean, all eyes on ETH. We'll see what ETH's got to do with that. Right, let's have a look at Sui and Ondo for our good friend Marios. But yeah, like I did mention, you can sign up to Stonksy today in various ways. The link is in the description, but you can get 20% off your first month. So if you want to come and try it for a month, you can grab 20% off with code BOT20. That's at the top of the screen here, and that is on this plan. Put it in at checkout. Alternatively, we do have 35% off. That is right, 35% off lifetime and annual. So obviously, as it suggests, annual you get a full year of access. Lifetime you get unlimited lifetime access. Stonksy is yours forever. These are 35% off, and these are auto applied at checkout, so you don't need to do anything. You just click on here and it will auto apply the discount on that. You do get, of course, access to absolutely everything: indicator, oscillator, Discord server, trading bots, all of that on all these 3 plans. It is only this option here where you get limited access. You just get oscillator and Discord access. But yeah, do come and join us. It'd be great to have you all with us every day, chatting away in the Discord as well. We've been having some great discussion in there this morning, obviously about the market before we jumped on stream. So yeah, do come and join us. Now let's have a look at them too. So Sui, let's look at that first. So quite interesting actually. Sui has gone red on the hourly. If we look at the daily, let's get rid of that. So daily, I've got kind of this area as my level of SR interest. I don't know. It was very valid over here, and obviously valid to here. I don't know exactly how valid we would give this anyway, but I mean, it's still remotely there. The thing is, if we go down the time frame, let's go to the 4-hour. Yeah, so it is coming into test. You can see it more clearly on the 4-hour. Yeah, so it's coming into test SR on Sui. We've got obviously we're on the 4-hour. We've not got any Stonksy background. But yeah, we are testing SR. So from here, obviously we want Sui to bounce, or if we close back below, we could go back into demand, which was around 330, 335-ish. So I think there too are just, one direction or another from this point on, and it is obviously pressing. Obviously, if it drops a little bit further, we will be right into, obviously, deep SR then. So yeah, it's very, very good pivot point coming up for Sui. If it drops, once it gets to around 365, then that will be decision time then. So that's what we've got on Sui. Obviously, up here, 411-ish is my daily pivot zone. If you go to the daily, you can see why. All along, so here, of course, and then on here, obviously, we back tested it on the daily and held before, obviously, sinking through. So 411-ish is the daily pivot zone. We didn't get quite up to there on this run, but yeah, that would be, logical key upside move to there. Let's go and have a look at Ondo. So Ondo, I'm sure I've got it on here somewhere. Ondo, that's it. Let's see what we've got on Ondo. Let's get rid of this. I can't remember the last time we looked at Ondo. It must have been a while ago. Yeah, I remember looking at these levels here. Obviously, they are not so valid anymore. Yeah, I mean, if you look at here, this, we've got Stonksy drawing out resistance here, which looks obviously great from there, from that standpoint. But all in all, you've got this kind of, what is that? You got this kind of 4 to 5% region here where it's clear SR. We had daily support for a while here. Then it's just been persistent resistance. obviously tipping over into here and then selling off. So that kind of is the one to break. You know, if you start breaking above, you know, clear up to 120 and hold, then the expansion on that should be pretty aggressive, and we'd probably, you know, you'd probably be looking up towards 140 to 160. Obviously here was big daily absorption, but up here is kind of the king, isn't it? 160. That would be the really big expansion we'd want to see on that. I mean, to the downside, we would have this test coming up at some point here. So if we come into there, we have a bounce, or we're going to drop back below. And yeah, that's what I think on Ondo. Obviously higher time frame, and yeah, currently what we're looking at and working with. Bitcoin is really dropping. Yeah, it is. And ETH isn't. ETH's being held up. Look at the disparity between them two hourly candles. This hourly candle here, just straight drop on Bitcoin. ETH, just being held up. We haven't even started moving on the CME gap yet either. It's not even close to the start of the gap. Never mind closing it. Could turn out to be one of 2 days. This could be a real bloodbath today. Or is the CME gap maybe baiting people and maybe it moves up from there? I mean, we need a 2% drop on Bitcoin, which actually would see it hardly negative on the day to close the gap. ETH, we'd need to see a roundabout, 4% drop from here. So that would put it in, 5 to 6% drop on the daily to close that gap. CME chart has a 10-minute delay. Yeah, I know. Thing is, though, we've not really gone anywhere for the past 10 minutes. Also, the CME has a premium, if you don't know. So the CME has a premium, but we've not really gone. If you look, so if we look on the last 10-minute candle, we've not gone anywhere. Obviously, that's 5 minutes. Even the 10-minute candle before that, look, we've not gone anywhere in the past 15 minutes, if you see. That's a 10-minute candle. This is currently 5 minutes into a 10-minute candle. We've not gone anywhere in that. If you look, obviously, at the CME chart, it's still dropping. But there is a premium on CME. So this is obviously coming to the point of where it's going to level off in respect to this price action. So there is about a $400 to $500 premium on the CME. Let's go check the trade out. Yeah, so let's give it a refresh. So yeah, plus 16% on that trade. Not bad at all. Pretty happy with this so far. Just need Ethereum to start following. We just need ETH to give up this level here and start following. No worries, Marios. No worries, mate. Take a look at Vine at 4-hour netline that I mentioned. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, in and around here is obviously support for it, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it should get a decent drop, that, to be fair. I mean, even if it comes back into here, you know, on a break below, from this point on, is like a 19% drop. What a crazy run that had. I mean, look at that, caught all the way by Stonksy. That is crazy. $500%. Wow. Yeah, Bitcoin is sinking now. That's one nasty, nasty reversal, isn't it? It's a nasty reversal, that. Yeah, so we're entering territory now of obviously dropping back below what you could consider SR. So yeah, not a good sign for Bitcoin and ETH. If Bitcoin keeps dropping, you do see it hard how this just can't roll over, don't you? Like, how could this not roll over eventually? Even if ETH remains strong against Bitcoin, for it just not to drop at all would be very, very strange. Obviously, it has dropped up from up there, but I mean, look at Bitcoin. It is just sinking. It's not really a good look for the daily as well. I mean, look at the daily candle. Obviously, you can't really see it because let me turn Stonksy off. Look at the daily candle. That looks horrific, doesn't it? Kind of reminds me of this from the last time. Obviously, we had the run up, and then we had this candle up. Kind of, no, it's not really the same. I thought it looked a bit different. That is an awful daily candle in the making, especially if we start close. You know, if it starts heading back down towards 117k, that is a really bad daily candle. Bingo. Yeah. It's not nasty when you short exactly. That's right. That's right. SMFC. Just need ETH to roll over now. And then that will be, really nice for my positions. Obviously, currently nice for the streaming account. But yeah, my personal... And I went with ETH instead of Bitcoin. I was thinking about going with Bitcoin. Obviously, looking at it at the moment, I should have, because ETH just is refusing to roll over. But there's obviously a much harsher drop waiting for ETH should it actually roll over, which is why I went for the ETH trade. But yeah, at the moment it's refusing to roll over, isn't it? Uh, 19% times 3x or 4x. Yes, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if Bitcoin continues to drop, then it should do. There isn't really any logic, even if ETH is strong, there isn't any logical scenario where ETH just holds this level. If Bitcoin starts dropping back towards 117k, that would just be laughable. Just need patience, innit? It's just about patience. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty nasty drop so far, isn't it? Let's see what we've got going on. Right. Printing hard right now, Dave. Had a gold order for 3344. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's a very nice reversal. Where is our stock? To be fair, that's not that bad. Where it's going to open. Where's BT? Yeah, that's up slightly. Yeah. Not so bad. Not so bad with that. This is coming. This trade desk is coming ever. If it continues to drop today, it's right in there, then, isn't it? Into that high time frame demand zone. You see it from there. Let's just pin it so I don't forget. Just literally just anywhere in and around there. Doesn't really matter, does it? Just anywhere in and around there. It's high time frame demand. So yeah, I'm keen for this to keep dropping, and I think I'll start bidding within this $5 range here. Did you short anything crypto wise, Wiz? Patience. Yeah. Haller's gone full profit on NQ short. Nice, mate. Nice. Very nice. I like it. Come on, breakdown. We want the ETH breakdown, don't we? It's hanging on by a thread. It's literally hanging on by a thread. This could get nasty on US Open, this, or we could just fully, we could like get some strong bounce. Speaking of which, I will. There you go. The poll's open for US Open. Get that in. 38 viewers. Thank you very much. 22 likes. Good to see. Thank you for joining me. What have we got? Nah, not short. Still got a couple of longs open on same stuff. Beat up. Silver bullet now. Yeah, nice, Haller. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm short on Bitcoin on the stream account, and I'm short ETH on my personal account. So I'm pretty chill at the moment. The Bitcoin entry was really nice on the stream account, and my entry on ETH was 4,275. So I've got a decent amount of room on that. Yeah, so up here. Yeah. So up here is the entry on my personal account on ETH. We just need it to break below this low time frame support, and then it should open expansion down to 4K at least. If not, down to here or even down to here, which would be really nice. I can't lie. I'd be very, very happy with that. What is it? Circle's looking like it's leveling off, doesn't it, at this level, Wiz? Circle looks like it's leveling off at this region here. It doesn't look like it's going to come in and fill in this down here, which is annoying. What's Coinbase doing? Coinbase is bouncing as well. MicroStrategy's up a bit. Yeah, a bit annoying really, but there we go. I'm going to pull this down anyway to entry. So there we go. We cannot lose on that. And I am just going to move my stop loss down on my ETH trade. Won't be a second. There we go. So pretty risk-free on them, minus probably fees, but I've not really bothered on both of them. I haven't moved my stop loss all the way down on the ETH one yet. I've moved it down to 4,300. So just $25 above my entry, which I'm fine with for now, unless it starts really U-turning. We've got 25 minutes to go. Now, we do have some fascinating US economic data this week. Tomorrow, we have, if I'm right, we have CPI, I believe. Yeah, tomorrow we got CPI, so we'll be watching this obviously live on stream. Do make sure you come and join me for it. So that will be 1:30 UK time. So depending on where you are in the world, obviously do make sure you come and join me. This is 1:30 UK time. We'll have the data release. So yeah, that will be fantastic. And then we've got PPI on Thursday. And then on Friday, we've got retail sales. We got the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index. But of course, we've got this. The Trump-Putin meeting. Now, it doesn't look like there's a time set for it yet. But, I mean, what could come out of this? Who knows? You know, what could come out of it during it or afterwards? It will be fascinating to see. ETH, oh, yeah. Bitcoin's carrying on breaking down. So we nearly recouped now. We've nearly recouped plus another $10, and we've recouped that ETH lost money on. ETH is just refusing to break down. Look at Bitcoin. It's just one turbo nuke, and ETH is just stopping at this level. Someone really doesn't want ETH to go down here. Someone really doesn't want ETH to go down. ETH Bitcoin, yeah, up as you'd imagine a little bit. But someone is holding on to ETH, really trying to support this level. But yeah, I mean, the more that Bitcoin nukes, the harder it is for this to hold. Once we break below this, we should accelerate to the downside, you'd imagine. No support around 4K historically. Need to establish that before heading to all-time high range thoughts. Yeah, I mean, it could form a decent level at 4K. I mean, what really matters is on the weekly, doesn't it? For the 4K region and on the daily, really. Figma is interesting. Question: what's that site? FX Street. FX Street. Dave, what is Snow saying? Got some puts for Friday 180. You can also look at DOCN. There is no support at 20k either. Why don't let ETH set up base there? Maybe in another 5 to 10 years, yeah? If you want to wait for that, Aaron. Yeah, in another 5 to 10 years, maybe. Please, nobody come at me with the thing that ETH is going to 20k this cycle. Please, I don't think I could take it. What do you want? So you want me to look at Figma? I remember we looked at Figma on Friday. Figma. Yeah, that looks. This looks interesting as well. This looks interesting as well. I do like the look of that. Snow. Snowflake. It's up slightly pre-market. Let's have a look on the daily. I mean, really, yeah, when you look at it, it's kind of heading back into this range, isn't it now? It's kind of heading back into this range. Yeah, I mean, in and around 180 looks like the first logical stop to the downside. It looked weak. So, yeah, you'd imagine, I mean, depending on where you draw the range, I would probably draw it around there. Yeah, you would imagine that this would be the first stop. So hopefully, yeah, that'll come into play for you. DOCN. I've already got this on. I think that was actually just around there, wasn't it? This is coming down quite a bit, yeah. So that's down $2 pre-market, which is probably just under 10% in it. Oh no, yeah, 6%. I mean, it's got, yeah, down here is support in it, demand down here. It's just kind of just knocking about there. I mean, when you zoom out, it looks very interesting, doesn't it? If this is all accumulation, this looks fantastic. Digital Ocean. What is this again, Wiz? Digital Ocean. That Bitcoin daily candle looks horrendous at the moment. There's still plenty of time for it to be fixed, like, but it doesn't look great, does it? Thanks for the intel, Dave. Yeah, I mean, try and tell you what I see and stuff like that. Thank you for your support, Delaney. Buy the dip on Sol or wait? Let's go and check Sol. So, in my very nice chart, we are currently rejecting. Look at this. I mean, these levels have been mapped out. Honestly, these levels have been mapped out for months on my Sol chart. Months. So we're rejecting exactly where I have got SR Drew. We obviously came up yesterday and we rejected that. I mean, it's really hard to say in it, because if really what you want to be doing is you want to be looking at what Bitcoin is doing, because what Bitcoin is doing is obviously going to really dictate. Obviously, currently Ethereum is trying to have a good go itself at pushing its own way around. But, you know, for anything like Sol or the rest of the market, you really want to see what Bitcoin is doing. Now, obviously, coming into here and starting, you can see Sol starting to break down. If it depends what do you think Bitcoin is going to do from here? We have the CME gap open, which obviously is yet to be closed. We have pushed up, liquidated all these lower highs here, and are starting to kind of fall below, depending on where you draw it. Key SR here. I mean, I personally think it seems logical at this. I mean, it seems logical to go and close the CME gap, and simultaneously come and test support again from here. The daily candle looks horrific. Now, if it does that, that would be a 2% drop on Bitcoin, which over on Solana would translate to what? Maybe another 5% or something. But it might not happen. If you know, the gates could open in 15 minutes and TradFi could come and eat this dip like it's no tomorrow. Just go and look at the chart. I mean, for me, I've just got my two levels are just here and here, high time frame wise. They're my levels, high time frame wise. If I was looking for anything else, I would probably pull this in. What's going to happen at 173? That looks like low time frame SR. That would be another 2% down. Below there, then maybe in this area here. Now, you're just kind of really picking at straws here, aren't you? Because you're trying to draw, depending on how you trade. I like to trade obviously bigger moves with bigger range expansion. Hence, you know, the difference between here and here for my levels closest to each other. But, you know, you could definitely see reason to believe, okay, you've got, you know, kind of a bit of SR here across Thursday and Friday. 173, you've obviously got consolidation and then retest and then impulse move up here at 167. So, you know, you could definitely see these two levels being tested as well. I don't think it's going to go all the way back down there unless Bitcoin just fully melts down. I think what you should do is look at Bitcoin and decide what you think Bitcoin is going to do and then go from there. Code with DJ. How we doing, mate? Great to see you. Always wait for confirmation of reversal before buying. AI, something and short. Sol and Sui. I've just done Sol. So you've just had Sol. You've literally just had Sol. Sui, I did it before. So yeah, I mean, it's currently coming in to test SR here around 165. I think from here it could get a bounce. If it sinks below, it could either come obviously back. This is higher time frame demand in there. But you could also give reason for it to come and bounce in here. I think that seems more logical than to go for a full retest if Bitcoin isn't going to just completely melt down. Yeah, Bitcoin looks like it's having a bit of a bounce. Is it? I don't know. Let's see. No, I mean, a little bit. I've got 50-50 on the votes. Do make sure you come and get your voting on the poll. We're currently 50-50. In a buy on gold. Hallie, you love trading gold, don't you? Now, it is actually, I mean, if Bitcoin bounces here, could actually be quite bullish, to be fair, because, like I said, I mean, it is testing SR. It is testing SR. So, it could actually turn out to be quite bullish. I mean, look at the response. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know what to think about Bitcoin and ETH from here. We really need Bitcoin to carry on downwards for any chance of this ETH break happening to the downside. We really need Bitcoin to carry on down. I'm TradFi now. 30 pips in already. I would say the boat has sailed on this one. I still have a runner from 3344. Half out of it. Very nice. Very nice. Hi, Nick. How are we doing? How are we doing, Nico? Great to see you. Right, I'm going to close this poll anyway. Let's see. So just slightly up, 52% up. What happened to Melon? What do you mean? Melon? Is this a ticker? This? What do you mean? The melon dude. Who's the melon? Melon? What melon dude? Who's the melon dude? I can't think. The melon dude. I don't know. You got me a bit confused. I can't think. The guy who joined the stream called Melon. He just bought Stonksy. We said he would be in. Oh! Do you know what? I haven't seen him since that first stream, you know. I think he only came into one stream, didn't he? I remember now. Yeah, I remember now, Hala. You jog my memory. Do you know what? I think he joined the stream once, didn't he? Or twice. And then I haven't seen him again. I haven't seen him in the streams. From my memory, I don't even think he typed anything in the Discord. He just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. I remember who you're on about now, yeah? Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what happened to him. I remember exactly what you mean. I have Coded DJ says I've opened a long position on Solana at 178.5. Should I hold or close the position? I can't give you any financial advice, unfortunately, Code. All I can show is analysis. Now, I suppose it just depends on what you think, mate. I think it just depends on what you think. Where do you think Solana is at? What do you think is going to happen with the market? I.e. Bitcoin, because obviously Bitcoin is going to take it down with it if it goes. I think obviously to the downside, there's mixed in with, you know, obviously the higher time frame level. These two interesting levels for me anyway, which would be in and around 174 and in and around 168 if it continues down or not. Now, it has hit firm rejection if you look on the daily. Currently, as it stands anyway, for my SR area, you can see obviously pretty much all the way back to April last year. This area of 180, give or take, you know, a couple of dollars sometimes, has just been huge SR here. Pretty much just all across. Now, we have currently, as it stands, rejected from that. Things could turn around. But I think, yeah, for Solana, basically, I think it depends on obviously where Bitcoin is going next. So it just depends on what you think, how Bitcoin looks and what's happening with it. We are yet to fill the CME gap. Doesn't mean it's going to be filled. It might not be filled. Who knows? Doesn't mean, you know, it could just U-turn from here and carry on. Or we could get a CME gap fill. Obviously, that would take it down around another 2K. But, yeah, like I said, I mean, it depends on what you've got outlined for it. I can't tell you what to do or whatever. But we might not break down. I mean, if Bitcoin holds here, then if Bitcoin holds here and starts to turn back up once TradFi opens in 6 minutes, then obviously it could bring the rest of the market back up with it. Like ETH is just like refusing to break down. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it is quite an interesting point for a lot of things. It's a really interesting point for a lot of things. For what Bitcoin is going to do from here. Me personally, I'm not really that too stressed or anything. I'm just going to leave my positions as they are. I've got currently obviously a Bitcoin one open on the stream account here, and I've got an ETH short on my personal account. That's all I'm rocking with at the moment. I've not really seen enough yet for reason to close them, but that could obviously change. I mean, ETH is, yeah, like I said, ETH is refusing to just break down at this moment in time, which is annoying, but we'll see. There is obviously a ETH CME gap, which it's currently working on as well, so it's obviously within should be a very interesting day nonetheless. Great volatility. I think I just put stop loss at 175. Yeah, I mean, you should always have a stop loss in, shouldn't you, really? Unless you're just doing some kind of like high leverage trade where you're okay with gambling on liquidation point. Yeah, at least you got a point of invalidation for yourself. Is there anything on the list? Let's go on to CoinMarketCap actually in a couple of minutes before we open. Let's see what is the biggest. So biggest gainers, Pump, LDO, obviously strongly related to Ethereum, so no surprise that's pumping. Athena, ENA, very close. So ENA is on my hit list. We've got a little bit higher to go on ENA. I mean, that's not a great looking daily candle. That looks horrendous. But I would really, really like it to come in towards $1. You can actually see reason for it to sell off from here. But I would just like it to just really exhaust that bullish momentum and come into this region here just around $1. And I would like to, hit a short on from there. Whether it gets there or not, I don't know. I mean, that doesn't look like a great daily candle, does it? It looks horrendous. So we'll have to wait and see. The Bitcoin daily candle looks horrendous. Look at the state of that. As it stands, of course, there's plenty of time for, that to change. But that don't look great from a daily candle standpoint, does it? Got 3 minutes to go until US Open. Debbie says, I saw you were talking about checking out old memes on yesterday's stream that haven't moved up recently. Yeah, we'll have a look at them. I've been a bit sidetracked, to be honest, because obviously since last night's stream, we've got this mega move on Bitcoin. Just completely just blowing out, obviously, upside liquidity. So I have actually deployed all the capital on the stream account into a Bitcoin short, hence why I've not covered it, because at the moment I don't have the capital to to deploy into long in any memes, but we'll take a look at that. So yeah, basically on yesterday's last night's market review, we was looking at, I was interested in kind of, quote unquote, the forgotten memes. So basically on BLOFIN, the ones that have got the least volume, I mean, obviously SAT, it's got less than 10k volume, and basically just looking at, can these get a scam pump, across the board on a few of these. I think we'll take a look at them, because we do need to obviously maybe have a list of them. But the reason I've not gone into them today is because obviously I shorted Bitcoin this morning on the stream account, so I've not got any unlocked capital to go and long any. Plus, obviously probably not the best day to be longing them, hence, Bitcoin's move as it stands. But yeah, we will go and have a look at them anyway, because I had a good time looking at them yesterday. I think it's a potential good one. 90% Mondays are red. Yeah, it's definitely red at the moment, isn't it? That's for sure. ETH is annoying, man. So annoying. Just refusal to break down. Should have gone with Bitcoin on my personal account. Could have done a nice high leverage one with the stop above here and really gone to town on it, which would have been great so far. Yeah, that would have been a great short. Oh well. And there we go. We are open for the US market. Now, let's see what we're going to get. Let's have a look to see what is going on across it, actually. So, Tesla is pushing up. So, Tesla, I mean, what a great range that was to trade. I know when we're talking about ranges, Wiz, I don't know if you're still here or not, but if you look back at that from June on, from June onwards-ish, from when it come down here, that was a great range to trade Tesla, wasn't it? We had plenty of 10% moves plus up and down. What a great range that would have been to trade. I didn't do enough of it myself. Bitmine is curving upwards now. Obviously, crypto related. Where's that one? So that one's back down a bit. That I bought into on Friday. But yeah, I mean, Mag 7, Apple's down just over 1%. Meta's up 0.5%. Yeah, Tesla's leading the way as it stands. So no, not a huge move on the Mag 7. Bitcoin is pushing back up a little bit. ETH is pushing back up quite strongly. So yeah, ETH not looking like it wants to break down at all, actually. Remaining strong. So see what happens with that. But yeah, that's currently where we're at. ETH, yeah, definitely showing signs of continued strength in the market. I mean, it's just basically pushing back up on its own, isn't it? It's just pushing back up on its own. Bitcoin, see, the thing is, Bitcoin it's bouncing really where you would think it should supposed to, but you know, where it should bounce, ideally, for a bullish outlook. Yeah, ETH is reversing quite rapidly. So we'll see what we get on ETH. I mean, yeah, the strength on it means that, yeah, any push back up on Bitcoin, and it could find itself quite quickly back up to where it started. However, I don't think I'm completely sold on the Bitcoin reversal just yet. We're still in nice profit on the Bitcoin short anyway. I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. I mean, if it goes back all the way up to here, then you've got to say fair dues. Fair dues to it, but full profit on gold long. Yeah, you're loving it, aren't you, Hal? How many? Obviously, are you pretty much? I'm guessing you're pretty much a scalper now, aren't you, Hal? How many trades a day do you find yourself normally taking now across, obviously, TradFi? That's 2 winning trades I've given you today, David boy. I don't really trade them, to be honest, mate. I don't really trade gold or indices, but yeah, thank you very much for them. Obviously, I hope people in the chat maybe appreciated them as well. Even if not taking them, even if they haven't taken them, obviously good to have them thrown in there. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you. We are getting... Oh, see, yeah, the S&P 500 looks a bit interesting from here, doesn't it? So we have built this kind of base, haven't we, here? We've built this kind of base low time frame on Bitcoin. I usually 1 trade a day on NQ on a good day. Gold anywhere between 1 to 7 to 8. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's quite an active day then, isn't it? Quite an active day of trading, really. Short squeezing coming. Yeah, potentially. It looks like it, doesn't it? I don't know if I'm in favor of a full reversal, but yeah, I think I'm fine with holding my positions. I think I am going to move my stop loss on my ETH trade fully down to my entry now, though, just in case. I mean, yeah, it is reversing, kind of. So, I mean, yeah, to be fair, I haven't really got that much room when you look at it. I've only got up here, and that has done like 2 candles. ETH is just too strong, isn't it? It's just too strong in the market. I mean, really, yeah, what we should get is something like this, shouldn't we? If it is going to roll back over, we should get like a push and then a roll over. But I mean, yeah, look at that. So yeah, I'm in. Yeah, up here is obviously where in and around up here. Let's see if it hunts my stop loss. That would be epic. Tech stocks are green equals Bitcoin still remains green. It's not actually really been that correlated to the S&P in a while though, really. It's actually a lot more correlated to the Nikkei. Is Bitcoin currently very correlated to the Nikkei. Oh, look at that. Yeah, huge. I mean, is it monster strong ETH, isn't it? Let's see what we get anyway, though. I don't think I'm completely sold on a reverse ladder. I mean, this is coming off the back of US Open, which is either going to mean we pump for the rest of the day, or this is just a squeeze on US Open and then we roll over. Don't know which one. Bloody hell, look at ETH. Look at ETH go. My God. That is one hell of a squeeze, isn't it? Who doesn't love a rollover? Look at that squeeze on ETH. My God. Yeah, there's some serious buying pressure coming in on ETH, isn't there now? There's just two giant 5-minute candles, them. The thing is, though, I don't trust it being US Open. I don't trust it being just out the gates US Open pump, unless it is just like complete FOMO by institutions. But surely they're not that stupid to follow a weekend pump. Here comes the Bitcoin, maybe reversal now. I don't know. Thing is, I kind of hope that it doesn't do what I've drawn on there, because if it does this, then it'll probably give ETH the room to take me out and then drop. I mean, it looks like it's just going to do it on its own. It looks like it's just going to keep pumping, even if Bitcoin is dropping. Let's see what Total's doing. I'm keen to see. So Total was dropping all throughout this. And Total isn't really going up at all. It seems like it's rotational money out of Bitcoin. I knew I should have took profits down here, shouldn't I? Easy to say that now, but yeah, when it was refusing to break down, it's a bit annoying. I just thought it would just go bang all of a sudden. I mean, that is crazy. That is honestly crazy. The reversal on ETH there. That is wild. Dave, soon. Look at that. I mean, that is some serious buying coming on ETH there. Let's see, soon. Bloody hell. Up another 13%. Oh my God. That is insane. It's actually going to take me out. I can't believe it. It's actually going to come and take me out. I genuinely can't believe it. That is insane. Look at the strength on it. Look at the strength on it. Now Bitcoin, with Bitcoin pumping, it should. I mean, I was going to say it should wrestle some momentum, like some strength back from ETH, but it's not. Oh my God. That is insane. What a pump out the gates. The minute you said Tesla is pumping, yeah, I should have. Give me the money. Short squeeze equals for the rocket fuel, for the rocket, baby. Yeah, I mean, I should have took profits as well. I mean, really, it doesn't matter too much on this one. We're still $40 up on that. Mainly, it's the ETH on my personal account that I'm annoyed about. It's mainly that, because yeah, that was annoying. That was really nicely up down here, and it's just completely just reversed it. But we'll see what happens from here on out. Are we just going to completely just rally? Or, I mean, this is technically an SR test, so it does look potentially quite good. Or is this just a big short squeeze? Imagine if we just go from here. Wild. Absolutely wild. Still nothing spectacular on the daily, no. The daily looks horrendous. Looks a bit better than before, but not great. ETH on the daily. Still lining up rejections here, isn't it? It's still lining up like rejections up here. I mean, yeah, is this gonna be actual like reversal, or are we just gonna short squeeze and then drop again? What do we think in the chat? Let me know. This is what a pump that. I mean, them 5-minute candles though, that is like crazy, isn't it? It's like that is just serious buying coming in there. But is it just one big short squeeze? Nope. I can't believe I'm actually going to get took out. I am so annoyed at that. I could have reshorted, basically back towards my entry's literally there. Unbelievable. Need Bitcoin to drop like a stone now. BTC to recover that daily wick. I don't know, you know. Got to get above EMAs first. First 30 mins on a Monday could drop. Yeah, could do. Or for anyone who's long, I do hope it will carry on for you. Yeah, I'm going to get took out pretty much here. That is so annoying. That is so annoying. That strength is actually relentless. That strength is absolutely relentless on ETH. That is crazy. It's literally just gone and took me out. That is crazy. That is actually crazy. Wow. Now, if it reverses from here, now I'm going to be annoyed. Yeah, I should have done the same. Do you know what? It's not even the Bitcoin one. I'm not annoyed about that. It's the Ethereum one. Down here, when I was saying it should have dropped. I should have just closed it when it was refusing to drop. That is so annoying. What an hourly candle! Look at that. I mean, really, you're looking at that and you're thinking ETH should now carry on towards 5k, shouldn't it? Really, that was its chance to drop here. For Bitcoin, I don't know how sure I am, but I mean, ETH. My God. The volume is still pouring in. It must be the ETFs that are driving this, because obviously pre-open we was dropping. Crazy. Should have took it off the table, shouldn't I? Someone should have told me, Dave, just close him. Just close them. No, it's how it goes sometimes, isn't it? It's how it goes. It's fine. Just one of them. It is trading. It is trading. But yeah, I mean, that is wild. Yeah, big volume. ETH is just kind of annoying to trade in general, isn't it? ETH's just kind of annoying to trade in general at the moment. If I'd have gone with Bitcoin, I would have been a lot better off. I think I might leave ETH alone, to be honest. I think I might leave ETH alone. Which is kind of annoying because I could have been up here on Bitcoin on my personal account. There we go. Crazy. Utterly crazy. What a candle. What a move. You've got to take your hat off to it, really, haven't you? I mean, what a move that is on ETH. You got to tip your hat to it and say, wowzers. What a move. Let's see. I mean, we'll see what happens from here, won't we? Thing is, Bitcoin's going back down. Phallic candle. Pengu is moving. Let's see. Look at Pump. Up 18% today. Pengu's had a push back up, yeah. Pengu's had a push back up. I mean, that is, yeah, that was wild, that ETH pump, though. Absolutely insane. To be fair, though, I mean, Bitcoin has not really gone that higher, has it? It's not really moved that much. It's annoying because I could have closed that and then re-entered here exactly where I was anyway. And then just got another trade down. But there we go. It's how the cookie crumbles, isn't it? That could just be a big monster short squeeze, couldn't it, really? And we could continue downwards now if Bitcoin's going to show weakness. Zora up. Let's have a look at this because I know Wiz has been sending me this one. This Zora. Let's see. My God. There's a couple of things that have been doing this, isn't there? But what? It's done a 15x. The thing has done a 15x inside a month. That is crazy. Yeah, wild. I mean, the thing is, where'd you go from there? It's like that other one, isn't it? This one. Just out of nowhere. Just bang. Just out of nowhere. It's not. I mean, it's not the best move on Bitcoin, is it? From open, really. We squoze up a bit. Obviously, on ETH, different story. That was insanity. That was actual insanity. But it's not really the best move on Bitcoin. I wonder what the funding rate on ETH is. Slightly positive. Don't really look at it too much anyway, but it's insane. It's done a 15x. Dave, I've got a little spot bag. Offloading it. Been tweeting the chart for a while. Oh, wow. Man, fact on ETH2. Same kind of chart. One of the artists of Pepe family memes. Oh, really? Man, fuck. I re-enter the short on Vine. I think you're right, Dave. It's a bull trap. I don't know, I don't know. I really don't know. It's kind of... on Bitcoin, it looks a lot more clear. On ETH, it is literally not clear because that move up was just insanity. Like, that was just relentless buying, wasn't it? Like, at market buying as well. White fiber. Say something smart about ZRO. Really good pump. White fiber. Oh, there we go. Who cares about ETH? Who cares about ETH? There we go. Me and Wiz bought this on Friday on stream. Wiz, I cannot take credit for it because it came right from Wiz. As you know, everyone knows Wiz as the stock guru, so I can't take credit for it at all. Wiz told me about it. Wiz brought it to our attention. But I did also hit the green button. So that's a good start. I'm 10% up now, Wiz, on that. I'm 10% up on white fiber, which is a good start. So let's get to at least 50% up, hopefully. If we get to 50% up on white fiber, I would consider that a great success. And I'll owe you a pint. I'll buy you dinner when you come down to see me. When you come down to stream with me. Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell what's going to happen on from here on, to be honest. Yeah, I really just don't know. Yeah. But, I mean, if we've got any... I suppose it just depends on what side of the fence you're sitting on, doesn't it? If you want bull, then you just need Bitcoin to move up. If you want bear, especially on ETH, you need Bitcoin to just completely shit the bed. But that... I can't tell whether that just looks like strong demand or that is just the nastiest short squeeze we've seen in a while. I can't tell which one it is. Because that was relentless, wasn't it? That looks kind of like FOMO. Just as soon as the ETFs like came out the traps, just FOMO buying. I can't... There we go. I want to pull it. I want this to be on the main page. But yeah, I can't take any credit for white fiber. Wiz brought it to our attention. He told us about it on stream. But I suppose it doesn't really matter if you look at it. If you don't buy it, I did buy it. But yeah, big up Wiz. If this gets to 50% gain, like overall, then I'll be a very, very happy lad. Let's leave it there. Absolute legend. Absolute legend. Big up Wiz. Save says my core weave stock is looking nice. Yeah, let's go and have a look at core weave, shall we? Oh, that is looking nice. Oh, Wiz. Another one of Wiz calls. Core weave. Yeah, save. You must be very happy with that, mate, because I know you was a bit in the trenches with this, wasn't you? But I think you said, was your average entry 125, which when you consider it on the retrace, it's still a low entry. 12% up, which is super. Yeah, very, very nice. Yeah, I hope for a good run on white fiber. That would be superb. Let's have full reversal back to up here. Full reversal back to up there is another 51%. And then, yeah, that will be good enough for me. 60% overall. Yes, please. BT. ETH had a gap on the Coinbase chart. Maybe they held it deliberately. Yeah, maybe. People just FOMO in every pullback, bull market hype. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You longed 102 and thriving. Yeah, that is nice. Save is up 3.3k. It's not a bad day's work, is it? Not a bad day's work. But yeah, I mean, it's been a great stream. Obviously, we've covered the great drop that we had, and then obviously the reversal, which is insane. But yeah, big thank you for joining me today. Really appreciate it. Make sure you do drop a like before you go. Make sure you subscribe, of course. If you want to trade anywhere with me, BLOFIN and BitUnix in the description. Click to sign up. And of course, come and join me at Stonksy. Like I mentioned before, if you haven't yet, you can get 20% off your first month with code BOT20 if you want to come and try it for a month. Alternatively, we are running 35% off annual and lifetime. Yeah, 35% off these two. And they are automatically applied at checkout. You don't need a code for one of them. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Ethereum is nearly back at 4,300. The Bitcoin one is still nicely in profit. So I don't know what we'll do with that. I'll drop it in the Discord, whatever I decide to do with it. Have a great rest of your day. Of course, come and join me for tomorrow. And in the meantime, let's keep on making some profits in the market, shall we? Bye for now, people. Thank you very much.